Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson. Mike, what was your nickname growing up?
Money Mike, Yellow Sticks.
Money
Big
Mike, Yellow Sticks. Wow. Why'd they call you Yellow
Bushy
Sticks?
brow.
You're kidding me.
I was like, have we started yet?
Yeah, we're on.
We're on.
See. They call me Yellow Sticks because I was just super skinny. I was like 6'4", 165. So I was like Snoop Dogg skinny.
Oh, and where does the color yellow come in?
Just my skin tone.
Oh, very good.
I've
I
gotten
mean,
a
I
little
wouldn't
darker.
quite call it yellow, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't get that, but that's all right. Thank you for sharing, Mike. So you're from Dallas originally. Yeah. And what do you got going on? This is why we typically like to rock this, is we like to talk to people about what you're doing right now. Okay, we want to get into some detail of your day-to-day life and the people you're surrounded by, right? Perhaps some personal relationships. And then we're going to throw it way freaking back. So you better get ready for Blast of the Past. Are you okay with this?
Let's stay ready. Let's go.
All right. And deep breath in. And out. Oh. Mike, what do you got going on today?
Sitting here with you guys, having a great time, getting to know y'all, just seeing smiles and laughter and just getting to embrace the energy that y'all have.
Yeah, that's true. And thank you so much for you two for coming by. Oh, my gosh, straight from Canada.
Yeah, I'm straight from Canada. That's
straight
right.
from Washington.
Oh, wow. What part of Canada?
British Columbia.
Oh,
Like
BC.
Vancouver Island.
Nice.
Yeah.
One of my friends that helped me on my book, she lives in Vancouver.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, big place.
Nice.
Is it?
It is. Vancouver is bigger than Austin.
Oh,
Austin's small.
Yeah, Austin is small.
Austin's small.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You can walk across it.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to, but yeah, you could. I mean, technically you could, yeah.
What's up with this book? Is that something that the public is aware of?
Yeah, that book came out, it was a bestseller back in October 2020,
Okay.
Making the Love You Want.
Love you want.
Yeah.
I love it. What was that about?
That book was about self-love,
Okay.
how to love yourself. It was more like a toolkit. You know, I believe in tools, not rules. It wasn't a rule book, shall I say. It was just tools to help you. I dedicated the book to a friend that took her life. And I've lost, a few people in that regard. So I just wanted to do something to give in some kind of way. Yeah.
Special. And I'm sure they appreciate that, the people in her world.
And you look like, is it Clint Eastwood's son, Scott Eastwood? Is that who it is?
Have you gotten that before?
No, it's not.
This whole time I was wondering why you're looking at me like that.
No, it's not Scott Eastwood. It's who's the Jack dude?
John Cena, bro.
Nope.
John
Hell
C-
no.
John Cena.
No.
Oh, fine.
Jason Statham, is that it?
Oh,
Jason
Jason
Statham?
Statham.
He looks like him,
I
right?
could see that. He
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
hair though. He's wearing a hat.
Oh.
You don't point at me like that, mate.
Jason Statham, that's who it is. You look like Jason
I'm
Statham.
gonna karate chop your ass.
Has anyone told you that?
I have. All the way back in boot camp, dude. When I
were
was
those?
19 years old, somebody told me that.
Yeah, you
Wow.
Yes.
You do,
I'm
100%.
36. What the freak is that?
do. Hey, I'm 36 too.
Respect.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing in the day-to-day, Mike?
Day to day.
Yeah.
I saw that you guys have a men group.
Yes.
And I would love to be invited one day to the men's group. I have a men's group as well. We just had ours on Tuesday. I'm a sexologist by trade. And so we talked about the weaving of sexual and mental health. I do that. I have a newsletter that drops here at 7 p.m. every single Thursday. I'm an investor, and I'm an entrepreneur working on a premium artisan goat milk soap.
Gold milk soap.
Goat milk soap.
Goat milk soap.
Goat
oh, very
milk
good.
soap. I've
Yes.
heard about that. That's supposed
Yeah.
to be really good for your skin.
It's great for your skin. It's great for your skin. It's great for your hair. Even your dogs and babies. I mean, it's great for eczema, psoriasis. I'm not going to sell you, but yeah.
Just tell us a little bit. It's good. It's good. It's good stuff.
Wow. This
Even
is
keeps the
edible?
pH balance right.
Is it just made with milk? Can you eat it?
No.
No, Greg. No.
I mean, you can. It seems like you might have eaten some things before. You know?
There you go.
Hey. No. What's that?
I have a couple questions. I had two thoughts.
Yeah.
One's going just deep into it off the rip. You mentioned mental and sexual energy, and a lot of the self exploration and just like consulting and stuff I've done in my life. It reminds me of kind of like even anatomically looking at a body, like the lowest portion, the chakras where the sexual energy is, and then the mind, the top or the crown chakra, and maybe like bridging that gap between the two. I told you like what I believe in and what my experience and process has been, and it's been this unification process. And that is something that just kind of clicked for me when you said that. So I was wondering if that makes any sense to you, and if you think that has something to do with like how this this well-being, or maybe the results that you're finding through your practice and what you're teaching the people, maybe coincides there.
Well, first off, I'm glad that it resonated with you, homie. That's what's up, for real. I think that the point of the brain is for survival, right? And then sex is for the survival of our species, and so therefore, putting the mental and the sexual together is for the survival of you individually. And what I mean by that is a lot of us use sex as a get it out frustration type thing, or a checkbox type thing versus a bonding intimacy experience, right? Dang.
What, dude?
No.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, what do you think about that? No, Mike, we want to throw in a little twist here, because we didn't tell you what our friend Maya from Canada does for work.
What do you do?
So so I'm a YouTuber, so I have a YouTube channel.
Nice.
And I've dedicated most of my videos is towards men and bringing our men back into power. And I feel like, especially men in today's society, their sexual energy has been manipulated through, I think, social media and using sex and the woman's body kind of as their weakness, which it is, and it's been programmed that way. But I think we're overusing the woman's body to weaken our men in today's society. So I work with a lot of men right now currently just who are struggling with addiction, within porn addiction, fetishes, certain things that they've been entrapped within. So that's kind of like my core things that I kind of discuss on my channel, is just kind of bringing back sacredness to sexuality, specifically into men. Yeah.
That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah.
What is your background in?
Honestly, nothing. I dropped out of school. I was actually in psychology, and I just kind of dropped out because it just wasn't my calling. And I found my calling, and I found my purpose, and it's led me like just kind of to where I am today by just kind of taking accountability to where I was misusing my sexual energy. And with that, I've been brought into my now purpose, which is kind of healing the masculine collective and their sexual energy. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So with what Mike just said, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's powerful. I think it's so powerful that we as a society can bring back sacredness into such a powerful act. Because now in today's society, we're using sexuality to market off, and it's actually being profited off of our own spirituality and our own life force energy. Another side note, I am the semen retention queen. So
we can talk about that.
yeah, so most of my
Please
content.
tell us.
we can talk about
Tell
that.
us your secrets.
It's a lot.
There you go. Well, most of my content is semen retention based because I think it's a great way for men to regain their center and their energy back. So then they can have enough energy towards their purpose work, their desires, and actually forming a healthy relationship to that energy so they can bring it forth into a relationship.
I love this. When you say semen retention, can you explain that for the people that are listening?
Yeah, so semen retention is such a powerful act. And honestly, I didn't know about it. I was practicing celibacy for 6 months. And within that, I kind of just came across one semen retention video. And it is actually an ancient practice. And it's restraining yourself from all sex. So it's like there's no FOP or no FAP, which is like no masturbating. But semen retention is actually fully restraining yourself from having intercourse and pleasuring yourself. I personally believe that pleasure is the shadow aspect of full fulfillment and full joy. I think we can get stuck in pleasure, especially because if we haven't found true fulfillment within, pleasure can actually be the gatekeeper towards full joy in our lives through relationships, through purpose work, through a lot of different avenues. So semen retention is just kind of committing to yourself, finding sacredness within your sexual energy, and using this very powerful life force energy to manifest into your life endeavors that will actually make you succeed in this world through your purpose, through healthier relationships. So semen retention in general is just retaining your sexual energy.
Nice. I like that. The way that I help my clients out when it comes to semen retention, a lot of my clients, male clients, come in and talk about having low T or low testosterone. And there's a lot of studies on abstinence.
Yes.
Then there's a lot of studies on ejaculating often they say in Western science says 21 times or more per month, so that prostate doesn't get enlarged. What I talk to my clients about is semen retention, but in another light. The way to grow your testosterone in one form, there's multiple formats, is to have lots of sexual activity without excretion or without ejaculation, right? And
What's the difference?
Well, as what you're saying, one is abstinence. And
No,
one,
between excretion
oh,
and
okay.
ejaculation. What's the
So like
difference?
when it comes to, I'm not going to tell you the biological aspect of it, right? But you have emission and you
Emission?
have ejaculation. You feel me?
What's a freaking emission?
Like, okay,
Somebody
let's say
doesn't come, somebody comes. So
Yeah.
in his scenario, you're
Yeah.
having sex, but
Yeah.
you're not coming. So you're like stopping yourself from coming,
Right.
and you're retaining your sexual energy.
Yes.
In her scenario, there's no sex at all.
Oh,
Well, no.
No.
And 98% there. And I would say, and I appreciate that. The last 2% would be, you're not stopping yourself from coming. You have a full orgasm.
Oh, okay.
What we're doing is separating orgasm from ejaculation.
So you're having an orgasm, brother.
Energetic orgasm.
You're having an energetic orgasm. You're having an orgasm to where
Yes.
the sperm doesn't go through the urethra. So therefore, you are actually, I mean, put it like this for the two of the fellas here. Imagine being able to have sex and not think about baseball, but like actually be fully connected and having that orgasm, but nothing is coming out of your urethra or the pee hole.
We've actually done that before. We did that.
We had an experience of
in
that.
December, back home in Washington State. Yeah, we was told by accident. We didn't mean that.
Well, I was, because we kind of, we were dating last year and we kind of separated. And within the time we were separated, I took 6 months to fully work on myself and to fully experience my own sexuality, because it was something I would easily give away to, like, these classic traps that men and women fall down, which is within social media, over sexualization of the woman's body, which really feeds her insecurities, and it fed my insecurities. So when we had that breaking point, I had to self-reflect a lot. I had to self-reflect within just what I was giving my energy away to. And I was using a lot of my sexual energy towards feeding a wound of mine, which was like my insecurities, my weakness of, it's something that's really true that a lot of women like experience, is needing male validation. And it doesn't leave a woman actually fulfilled, but entrapped within just kind of over sexualization in today's society. So we did have an experience, and that was like, in December, when I was holding my sexual energy in for like 6 months, I had no orgasm, like, at all. And that was a really powerful time for me. And then when we got back into our container, and you did actually semen retention for like a month and a bit before we got back together, but we did experience a energetic orgasm, and it was really profound.
I love that. I love that for y'all.
Yeah.
Definitely so.
So Mike,
I know.
Mike, you said investor. Let's just tap upon that for a second.
Yeah.
How are you investing?
Well, I have two companies that are pre-IPO, investing in both of those companies. Of course, we have our paper assets, and then a business as well, small
When you
business.
say we have our paper assets,
We as in me.
we and
We
you.
as in me.
Yes. Okay. Very good.
We as in
And then what was the last thing you said?
me. Small business.
Small businesses.
Yeah.
Oh, small business owner. That's right. Your daily.
Daily?
Your daily work.
Dilly.
Yes, very good.
Diligent, yeah.
And then what about real estate, Mike? What the heck, dude?
Yeah, I'm not.
Serious?
They say they, as in the people that
Yeah.
that I have a lot of respect for in terms of finance. I used to be a wealth management advisor back in the day, and so they say invest in what you know, and
Yeah.
teach me something about real estate.
In due time. In due
Yeah.
time.
I don't.
Yes.
I mean, I would definitely do commercial for sure.
Okay. I don't know anything about that.
Oh,
You have to
sorry.
call someone else. Sorry.
I know
Sorry.
a fair bit. I'm in residential investing. I've been in it about 2 or 3 years, and the last probably like 6 months, I've been researching commercial more extensively. Like,
Yeah.
that's the place to be. It really is. I mean, it's kind of like, I flip a lot of houses, so you can flip a house in about 4 to 5 months, and you can make, depending on a lot of different variables. Let's say the lower end is 50,000, at the upper end maybe 300,000-400,000. It's great profit, for kind of how hands off it is in that time frame. Commercial, you can do a similar thing in a similar timeline, and you can make 10 million. And it's just because the value, there's much more value in that type of an asset, that type of property.
Yeah. Hey, we talk commercial. I'm there. I'm all ears.
Oh, you like
We
that?
just had
Like millions?
I like Billions. A good TV show.
Oh. Oh, it makes 4 of us.
We
Very
just
good.
had J.P. Newman, he's the owner of Thrive. It's they raised over how much? Over 1 billion? No, 1.
He sold over 1.5 billion in commercial.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So he's they're local to Austin.
Okay.
If you know West Austin, Lake Hills, like Cuernavaca area,
Yes.
I think it's 78731. They have Thrive FP. That's where the headquarters is.
Okay.
And what they do, they basically raise money. So they have a syndication and a fund, and they
Like a
raise
REIT
money,
with them.
and then they search for these off-market, commercial real estate opportunities, invest in them, flip them, do multiple different strategies. But
Hey, I'm liquid in some regards. Let's holler at him.
Oh, consider it done. Consider him hollered at. Very good. Now, Mike, we got a good essence of what you have going on. It sounds like a lot
A little
for
bit.
the average person, I guess. I don't know what is average though.
I was thinking the same thing when you
Yeah,
said
what the
it.
hell is that?
Yeah.
I take it back. I don't even like to say that.
I believe this guy's definition of average.
Yeah. Well, you got a lot going on. You're keeping yourself busy, to say the least. Right. You got a woman in your life.
I do.
Okay. Still. All right. I don't want to mess that up. Good. Yeah. I met her. She seems like a nice lady. I could be wrong, but she seemed nice when I met her. That's good.
Whatever you're on, I need. Like,
This guy's I've known him for like what? Might be around a year now.
About a year.
He's on pure life, God, bro. This guy,
yes.
this is just normal.
Oh, yes,
He stays
yes.
like this, just fired up, like
I'm fired up.
constantly, just like
Thank you
that.
for noticing.
A little guessy, but just enough to keep you lighthearted.
It is. It's
love it.
just
I love
enough. You really do have this like special thing where it's like just enough goofy, not overboard. You have it under control. You use it to your good.
It's
to
kind
your
of like
betterment.
hopping on a bucking bronco. You know what I mean?
Right, okay.
If you get a little too crazy, you're gonna get bucked off. But we gotta calm down over here.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we're on the edge. If you know what I mean. Edging, get it?
like it.
I get it. I actually get it. Yeah, I get it.
Hey, my regard, no edging. You can go full
Oh,
force.
thank you for your. That's good, very good. And now we're gonna get deep, Mike.
Let's
Okay,
do it.
we've got to get in the nitty gritty because you've built quite the life for yourself. You're well respected in the community, and you were chosen to be on a television show that we all know and love, The Bachelor. And it says a lot about your character. So let's talk about how you got to where you are today. You said you grew up in Dallas. How long you were living there?
Man, I would say from like 6th grade to end of high school. Yeah.
6th grade. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, very good. Did you grow up with both your parents?
Nah, just in my single family household.
Yeah. Who was that?
My mom.
Your mother.
Yeah.
Is she still around with us?
Yeah, mom and pop still around. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's your mother's name?
Tammy.
Tammy.
Yeah.
Where's she at right now? Where's Tammy?
She's in Dallas as
In
well.
Dallas?
Giving you a lot of information. I'm like, hold up, my radar is on.
I just like to paint a picture. It's good. What school did you go to growing up for elementary school?
I went to a lot of elementary schools. I even went to some in Austin.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, so you moved around quite a bit when you
Moved
were
around
very,
quite a
very
bit.
young.
Yeah, from multiple states to multiple countries.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to get to the countries piece in just a second. So, what was the main school you went to? Let's say it was middle school, perhaps. Did you go to middle school, the same school?
2.
You went to 2. What were they? What was the name of those?
I went to Andrew Jackson Middle
Andrew
School.
Jackson. Okay.
Jackson, and then there was another school in Irving, Texas.
Yeah.
I forget the name of that one.
Now, what prompted all the moves?
I think it was just a low economic lifestyle. I had to continue to move around
Yeah.
and find the best place.
Yes. Yes. So you're finding the best place, and it was just you and your mother. Or do you
No,
got any brothers and
No,
sisters?
yeah, it was my sister, my mom, and then from time to time my grandmother as well.
Your grandmother.
Yeah,
She around?
she is.
What's her name?
There you go.
Let's just call her Jeannie.
Grandma Jeannie.
Yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
yeah.
My grandma's name is Mom.
My mom.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Hey, my mom.
Yep. She's cool. She's nice. She's 92.
92.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll have to send her this episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell
Do
her
it.
Shout
Mike
out,
says
shout
hello. So, what was it like growing up in that type of environment, moving all the time? How would you describe that to the listeners?
It makes me really good at sales.
Tell us how.
I know how to talk to people. I know how to communicate. I know how to pick up on social cues.
And see, that's really positive. Now, what about that experience makes you good at sales? Makes you good at picking social cues up? What about that?
What about social cues?
No, what about your experience makes you good at sales? Makes you good at picking up social cues?
I think being a multitude of completely different environments allows you to not become a victim, allows you to understand that perspectives are different, allows you to realize that the little nuances of every single individual that you may meet isn't bad or good. You just have to listen to receive and not listen to just talk back. Yeah, I would say that.
And then let's say you came home from school one day. What kind of feeling did you have as you were getting off the bus, so to speak, and you're about to go inside?
Bro,
Some people are scared. Some people are excited. Some people are like, "Oh, I hate this." What did you?
That's a peculiar question. One, because I have no remembrance, but then two, it's cool
That's
because
interesting.
I never rode the bus, not one time.
Yeah, I
What?
didn't either. I know
Yeah.
you asked me that too, and I said I'd never rode
Yeah,
a
never
school
rode a
bus.
Did you
bus.
not ride the bus, dude?
Just, just never rode the bus.
How long was the bus? No.
And-
Anyways, so you
Mine was
you
normal size.
okay.
I was like,
wait,
no,
now.
no.
It was the normal size bus.
So, well, what was it like, anyways? Are you going home from school? What was your enthusiasm level?
My childhood life, I would say, I can answer it like that. 'Cause
Mm.
I really genuinely don't remember every single aspect
It's
of
fascinating.
it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people's life is fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, but yours is extra fascinating.
So far to this point, I still got a lot more life. I appreciate it though. We're young. Childhood for me was, I think, normal. I think the word normal in and of itself, anything could become normal. So
Mm.
that's a half-assed answer, but I think it was normal in the sense of I felt love.
You did.
I knew I wanted more, and I had all the tools. Warren Buffett said, he said I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. He said I grew up in America being the biggest. And so I grew up in America, so I had a silver spoon in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said you also mentioned that you felt like something was missing. What was that?
Just more wealth, health, and happiness.
Why those three things?
That's all I strive for.
Wealth, health, happiness.
Wealth, health, joy. Wealth, health,
Joy.
happiness,
You felt that way when you were younger, though? Is that right?
yeah. Yeah, I do. No, for real. My best homie
Yes.
from 6th grade, he told me a story maybe like 5 years ago.
Mm.
And he told me a story when we were in the 6th grade of how I was just so positive towards him.
Yeah.
He was a bigger set guy at the time. And I don't remember what I said, but I said something positive, and it stuck with him. And he told us while we were in our 30s. And I was like, damn, I said that?
What'd you say to him?
I don't really remember. It was just something of the nature of it's like if you say that you are a anxious person, for example, right? Are you an anxious person, or are you having an anxious moment, right? And just trying to separate that two. And I've always been a person to separate the negativity from the positivity.
You've always been like that. Now, growing up, would you say that you had any bouts of darkness into your life?
Oh, for sure, bro.
What
Definitely.
did those look like?
100%. I went through a phase to where I was disassociating.
See, now I'm not too familiar with that act. What did that look like for you?
Dissociative disorder is what they said. So I was like 17, 18, 19.
Oh.
And so this was a little bit older, I guess you would say, in comparison to what you were saying.
Yeah.
But basically, all of kind of to what you were discussing, like we run to the drama to hide from our trauma.
Yeah.
And so I was, I'm pretty sure all four of us don't remember every single detail from our childhood because we went through some form of trauma or another. And as we get older as adults, a great portion of us are still that same young individual when that trauma took place, and we haven't gotten through it. And so when I was disassociating, I'm not exactly sure what caused it, but I know how I got out of it, and I've never gone through it again. And when I was in that dissociative state, all I kept saying was my name, my social, my birthday, because I was losing who I was. Right? Like,
now, when you said that was the only things you would say.
yeah, like, because I was, so to be specific and paint the picture, shall I say,
Yes.
I quit working, quit talking to my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
I had my own, me and my homie had a spot. I moved back into my mom's house, and I didn't talk to nobody. I just stayed in the room every single day. The TV was on, but I wasn't watching. I was incredibly glazed over. I've always been a respectful person, but my mom was asking me questions, and I was being a little smart ass. She was like, what state are we in? I don't know, state of Texas, or are you talking about the state of being? Just being a little smart ass. That was something I remember saying specifically. And I just continued to say my name, my birthday, my social, because I was genuinely losing who I was. And what I mean by that is, if you haven't met someone in a dissociative state, I'll say it like this. The brain is so freaking awesome and so powerful that it may try to suppress something, but when something can't be suppressed no more, the other parts of your body must take over it to help you survive it. And so I, at the time, didn't know how to handle what was going on in my life. And the only thing that my brain did subconsciously to me was stop and just be, which is a lot of, that's a message right there for all of us to just be.
Yeah. Yeah. And no idea what led up to that.
No, I have a lot of things that took place in my life when I was younger. I'm a sexologist. You didn't ask why I was a sexologist, so I'll say.
Well, I was going to ask.
I'll tell you now. I knew you were. I knew you were. You're a great interviewer.
Thank you.
One of the reasons why I became a sexologist, there's like 4. One of the reasons is because I was taking advantage of myself as a child, and so I'm pretty sure that trauma had something to do with me disassociating, but I can't blame it on that because I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah. And then you said there was 4 reasons total.
Yeah.
That was 1. Yeah. Yes. What are the other 3?
Excuse me. 1 I won't say here, just be respectful.
Very good.
2 or 3, shall I say, when I was in the military, I was the only male that was a victim's advocate on my base. Victim's advocate is basically someone who gets a phone call. If you study for 40 hours in the Air Force, at least you study for 40 hours about a couple of things that take place to when someone is taken advantage of, and then you get a phone, like a cell phone for that weekend.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're working out. I don't care if you're in bed with your homie. I don't care you playing the game. You can answer that damn phone. Yeah. And you're basically, you learn how to be an aid for another person, because in the military, you can't talk to everybody about a situation, because if you do, it automatically has to go to the courts. And oftentimes when someone is taken advantage of sexually, they don't want to relive that moment, right? And so I became that, and it was just a calling to me. And then another thing, my ex and I had a miscarriage, and we were having
ex-girlfriend, wife?
Ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
We were having sex in our relationship, right? It wasn't like a non-sexual relationship. If it were, that'd be no big deal. But we started that relationship with sex, and so your boy wanted sex still. And I personally believe in integrity and not cheating. And so we would go 3 months, no sex. I'm like, what's up? Hey, brother is itching. And then, we'll have sex, and then we'll go another 3, 4, 5 months. And so we were trying everything. I mean, you mentioned Christianity. I don't know if y'all seen the movie War Room. Went to go watch that. Tried everything under the sun. Nothing was working. Yeah. And so that was the last straw. That was number 4. I mentioned 3, but except for 1. And I became a sex coach, certified sex coach.
Yes.
But then I felt like I didn't know enough, and so I wanted to become a board certified sexologist.
What prompted becoming a sex coach? You were in that relationship with the girlfriend.
Yeah. You
lost a baby. But what about that translated into being a sex coach?
Yeah, so we weren't having sex. And to be honest, I remember what I said specifically. I was like, I don't want to be a dumb dude no more. Oh. And for the record, for all the guys out there, if y'all talk to me individually, I definitely don't lean one gender or over another gender. I would say she could have helped in that regard, because I think a lot of times in relationships, people think that they're supposed to be a mind reader. And that's not the case. We have a mouth for a reason. We have 2 ears for a reason. And so use your words. And so the words weren't being used, nor at the same time to like come at the fellas and myself. We got to pick up on social cues. We have to pick up on some things and ask questions and, be a support. And then also, bro, my ex had just had a miscarriage. So, I could have been more empathetic. And yeah. I was empathetic, but not in the ways that she would have wanted for as long as she would have wanted, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
People don't want to say what they want to say to that, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I empathize with losing babies. Yeah, that's tough stuff.
Have you lost a job?
Yeah, 2 of them. Yeah, back to back. Wow. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, no doubt about it.
How did y'all get through that?
Oh, we didn't.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, how did you get through that?
Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. No, it's not sick.
No, I know. No, it's because my delivery. I know. Yeah. I know. I'm making light of it. No,
and she's been through herself too.
What?
Yeah.
She's been through.
Yeah, I've been through. Yeah.
Oh,
I
dang.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's honestly, it's
tough.
really healing, like just to talk about it and bring light to it.
Yeah.
Because it is something that can be just like really like suppressed in the being, and it's a beautiful thing to talk about openly, and it does heal. So it's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
I appreciate you, and you as well, Greg.
So this is getting fantastic here, because we're building up a grand runway. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So what I'm picturing this, you're in this time of change, in your life. You started to tap into the sex coach space, but that was in the military.
No, sex coach was a bit after military.
A little bit after.
Yeah.
Okay, so sex coach, backtrack to military, and then backtrack. Where is it? High school, then military?
High school, I went to a little community college for a little bit.
Little community college.
And then military.
Okay, so in high school, that's when you had the dissociative or disorder. How did you pull yourself out of that?
It came down. I'll never forget it, and I've never bounced back. Y'all are, singling out what I think of normal and things of that nature. I remember, and I'll never forget it, if I feel like I'm not progressing in life, I regress. And so progression to me is active. Active to me is living. Living to me is a blessing. That's how I would equate all those things. And so for me to live is a blessing. So therefore I must do and act. And so therefore I continue to act. If I don't act and sit on the couch every day, then therefore I'm regressing. If I'm regressing, then I'm dying. If I'm dying, then I'm just stagnant.
Now,
Stagnant before dying.
yeah, is that a choice though?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything in life is a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, we have neurosynapses. I don't want to get into neuroscience too much, but
Another
everything's
episode.
a choice.
Another episode for another day.
Oh, yeah,
we can get into synapses.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. And then we can also get
I think it's powerful to hit on, honestly. I'm studying a PhD in clinical psychology right now. So a lot of the stuff that you've been talking about, like I get it, I know it. Like you're talking about that part of you was literally in your body, and you were as from a kid, you don't know specifically what caused it or when or your age, but it does get stored in within our body. I like to say our body is our subconscious mind. So much like the body keeps the score type of analogy, and everything is energy, as I think everyone should agree with. And it's energy.
Bro, you'll believe some don't.
Yeah, that's right. So it's just a powerful thing. I wanted to kind of cut in for a sec because a lot of people listening, they can benefit from that. They can benefit from understanding that, if they are having, let's just say, an insecurity, self-doubt, shame, fear, guilt, or a lot of the main doubt. Those are some of the main ones that I see that they're experiencing in their body emotionally. It's not something that, from my perspective, is meant to be there like forever. I think that it's meant to, at one point, it was supposed to be worked through, but it's still present. It should still be worked through because it's causing probably unnecessary suffrage, and it's probably some type of a detriment to most, if not all, areas of someone's life as well. So I think that's powerful information. The synapses thing is fascinating to me too. You're probably referring to neuroplasticity. How we can basically reprogram our brains, like
100%.
entirely. We program the way that we think, our beliefs, our identity, really everything about our reality. And
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really powerful.
I don't think that AI could ever compare to a human.
oh,
Period.
I don't think through that. How can you? My main thing is like, it's, I don't know, there is a too deep, but consciousness is everything, and it's the most. How can you create something that's outside of everything? I don't even think it's possible. Honestly, AI is smart, but
I mean, AI is just simply what we do.
yeah,
Yeah, it can do us better than us, but therefore it doesn't know what the all of us is because we don't even know what all of us is.
that's good.
true. Mike, thank you for that. Yeah. So okay, what military branch?
Air Force,
Okay, what'd you do?
cybersecurity. What about you?
Cybersecurity?
Yeah.
I was in the Navy.
Navy.
Yeah.
We can make jokes about each other for sure.
I was in the army. I give him shit all the time.
Everybody's crapping on each other around here.
That's what we do, It's love. It's love.
Feel the love. So
Thank you for your services.
you as well. Thank you. So you're okay. You process out of the military eventually. You still with the girl?
Yeah, that lady, yes.
We called her a lady.
Yes. I mean, yeah, of course.
Was she like twice your age? I don't,
No, I just
Oh.
I got respect for you. If I date you, and
All right.
if I date you, you're a lady. Because if not, then what would that make me?
what are my options?
Ain't shit.
Okay.
It's like how can to me, like when a person dates someone, and I mean, we all have our individual beliefs, but if you date someone, or for example, have a child by somebody or marry somebody, and you can have only nothing negative to say about them, what are you saying about yourself? Because you chose that person.
True story.
So yeah, she was a lady.
Clearly said.
Yeah.
Yes. And people should take note of that. Wow. Okay, we got to get back on track because this is getting freaking fired up, right? And we're creating the runway here. You get out of the military. You're still with the lady. Where do you move to?
We were living in England, and we moved to San Antonio.
Why England?
I was just stationed there.
That's where you're. Okay.
Yeah, I was stationed
And then why San Antonio?
Bro, that's a good question.
You two were sitting on the couch and you said, "Let's move somewhere. Where would you like to go?"
Well, I was going for. Oh, there you go. That's the reason. I was going into the Guard, from active duty to Guard.
Okay. Very good. And then what was your life like? I mean, it seems like a pretty tranquil period, no? From transitioning out of the military.
Yeah.
You move in with the lady in San Antonio. What ultimately happened next?
I was working, as all military people do. We see the contractor make more money and do the same exact job, but work less.
Yeah.
I became one of those guys.
Yeah.
I was like, I want more money and work less. And I was 25, and just my next coworker was 20 years my senior. They were all fat, no offense. And I just was like, bro, this is so boring. I don't want to do this. And so I quit after I don't know, 9, 10, 11 months.
Yeah.
And I went to a job fair, recruitmilitary.com, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And I became, and did another career.
Wow. What year was that?
That's a good question, bro. I smoked a lot in my life.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you smoke?
Good weed.
Good weed?
There you go.
Do you still enjoy the occasional doobie from time to time?
That's a doobie. You're a 92-year-old mama was called a doobie. Doobie.
Yeah.
Doobie.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, of course. We are in Austin, it's legal in the county. And,
Very good.
But
Yeah.
edibles, though, because,
Right.
the smoke is bad for our lungs.
Big time.
But edibles,
Yeah. So okay, we got to get back to the present. So you don't know when that was. What did we miss? What did we miss from the time? Because now you're in a new relationship. What happened between getting rid of that lady or departing that lady and finding the new lady? What happened?
Well, a part that that you mentioned, TV, became a wealth management advisor, became a man, put childish things away, and got more money, got a better body, got more perspective.
What kind of childish things did you ultimately put away? Like
Lust.
lust. How'd you do that? If you were
that's-
to teach me, how do you do that?
Write down,
Yep.
get a notebook and a piece of paper, and write down. Ask yourself the question why, and just continue to go. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? And just continue to write down why until you have no more whys and you have the answer. And then you just simply have a choice. Once you give yourself a choice, you feel empowered because you are in charge. And now from there, you make a decision.
Yeah. Why get rid of lust?
Why get rid of lust?
Yeah.
I think men should get rid of lust because you ain't going to be able to elevate and be your ultimate self if you continue to follow into the lust.
And what else have you gotten rid of or added to become your ultimate self since then?
I have never gotten rid of the homies, but I've definitely distanced myself from a certain homies from Dallas. Lust over women, and definitely don't drink as much. Don't even smoke as much. And I just picked up. I think everything's a diet, right? I'm about to go through a cleanse and delete damn near everybody on IG. Before I went on TV, I only had like 88 people that I was following because I wanted to like nourish myself with a specific type of information.
Yeah.
And so at that time, I had did that, and I'm about to go through it again. They say like when an eagle turns 40, they have like a decision. They can either die at that moment in time, or they can go up to one of the highest mountains and bash their beak in for about 4 months, and then do the same thing with their claws for a total of 4 months, and then they grow anew, and then they grow stronger.
I did not know that about eagles. Wow.
It's probably one of the best facts anybody's ever told us on the show.
I think so.
It's freaking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's kind of like our human process. That's a little violent, but sometimes no. A lot of my dads are pretty violent too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't gotta do it in that fashion,
No.
but yeah, it's all about shedding the old skin, right? And like
Totally.
neuroplasticity, as we talked about. If you want to be something great, then you need to continue to tell yourself that every single day. But then also you need to work through those traumas instead of trying to avoid them. We say Gottman Institute. This is another fact for you guys. 69% of in relationships you have perpetual conflict over the exact same shit.
Oh.
69%. 7 out of 10 of your issues within y'all's relationship, within everybody's relationship,
69,
is the
huh?
same thing. I know, good year.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
Wow.
And so you gotta learn how to work through that. And then they also say with Gottman Institute, working through conflict instead of hovering over conflict is how you get better, how you grow. And so therefore, like the eagle, we got to work through our stuff, work right to it.
You're good at that. Something I admire about your ability to talk about conflict in such a poised fashion. You know it's true. That's why you're smiling. You know you're good at it. It's enjoyable to watch.
Because one of the biggest things that I've learned, and I think you touched on this a little bit earlier, or at least maybe a component of it, is like everything in my experience, your experience, your experience, your experience is how we relate to it. This bottle of water here is, you know, we all are seeing 4 different things and how we relate to it. You start to put words on it, they have different meanings to each of us. So conflict is, it's not a bad thing. It's not a wrong thing. I think it's very necessary. That pressure, that conflict, like you're alluding to, that's what I think. I think it's fundamental purpose. I'm very left-brained in a lot of different ways, so I like to understand things. So I really resonated with what you said about like just asking the questions why. I do it all the time, and it leads to really good answers, like you said. But it's just for me, it's the purpose for any conflict. It's literally a problem or negative energy is for positive energy to occur, for growth to occur. That's its sole purpose. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I can tell her. I can tell you like it. He likes it. I'm just gonna check the time because we know you're gotta head out. Okay, we got a couple minutes here. So you're on the TV show, and what did that do for you? Because that's a unique experience.
It was definitely unique. Shout out to the Bachelorette. It brought in another. I just be talking to people like it's just me and them and not the internet. I'm gonna say my first thought and is be stand on that. It brought in another revenue stream for sure, which is a blessing. Something that I never even thought of because I never watched the show prior. So I was like, "Ooh, wow, okay, cool." And it made me stand on my beliefs and stand on this hill that 100% of us judge, which is wrong. And wrong in the sense of when we say we don't judge. I think that even the word discernment stems from judgment. And so therefore we all judge. It's supposed to be to get to discernment, but therefore we don't do that a lot of times. Let me stop preaching. And
say it loud.
It helped me to stand on my principles and realize that this beautiful Georgia peach ain't for everybody. It might not be sweet to everybody. And I think that's a incredibly refreshing, relieving feeling when you could be a good human being to everybody, and I just may not be for you. You know what I mean? I could love you and listen to your story and hold space for you, but you like, that Mike dude, he a little bit too big for me. He's just too tall. Not sorry.
Don't be sorry. We know you're not.
Next question.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Johnson. So let's keep going. That's
I'm
rich.
so sorry. That was not. Yeah.
I love this. This is phenomenal. It's beautiful.
She's like, I'm so sorry. Keep moving.
Yeah. So you picked up some valuable lessons from being on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That you're taking away, and it seems like you're sharing them pretty easily with others. Because you find value in them. What happened after that?
Man, the show experience was actually 10/10 amazing. Truly. Being on the show was phenomenal. The Bachelorette, her name is Hannah Brown, the fellas on the show, the antagonists on the show, all that was fun. I got to play rugby, absolutely love rugby. Got to travel to multiple countries, that's my bucket list. And after the show, that's when the show is not good. That attention that you get.
What kind of attention?
Just people saying things.
Judgmental
Things, saying things to attack you about what they think you may be. Somebody called me a gorilla. I'm like, okay, cool, I got a gorilla tattoo. The N-word, okay, that's how you feel. Just the full Monty of everyone that's been on your chair. Connor Saley was here, I know. Just the full Monty of what everyone, if all 4 of us were to be in a position, somebody gonna say something negative about you. They ain't gonna say it in my face, and if they do, they won't continue to. And
why is that?
Because we'll have a beautiful conversation. That's why.
That's right.
I'm pretty decent with the words.
Yeah.
And I just after the show was definitely a difficult time. I had to learn you got to learn how to be yourself, be authentic. And what made it difficult is because in psychology, it's called front view. I can front view amazingly well. As salespeople, you're really good at that. You're very good at that. I could tell. And front view is just like, you know what to do to make a person like you, right? But the back view stuff is the difficult stuff because on TV, I'm the digestible black guy. I have a big smile. I have a beautiful personality, and I'm digestible, right? But then when I start saying things that matter to me and how I feel, it may not resonate with everyone just as well. I could say I'm a Christian. That may not resonate with someone that says I'm a Muslim. Just simple things, every little thing. I'm not saying anything that's like absurd.
And they choose to use that and throw stones.
Beautiful quote. And yes, and the reason I was going to say it hurts at times because this is why I say never be fake or never assimilate, because the beautiful thing about assimilation is that you might see somebody else winning, so therefore you try to assimilate that. You try to do what they're doing to win, right? But then what happens is that you actually win, and then you're lost in your own body. And so that's a terrible thing for me, my audience, and the Bachelorette audience, they don't look like me at all. They're primarily Caucasian women that are 10 years my junior.
Yeah.
None of that is like me at all. And so, for example, I said something about Rascal Flatts. I got 2,000 likes on Twitter. I said something about Lil Wayne and got 2 likes. What? And so what happens is your audience just doesn't resonate with you. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, bro, like, this sucks because they love me and I love them, but we just don't resonate in that regard. And it's hard for someone to resonate with you when they have a picture of you, of what you are, based on the edits that they saw on a TV screen.
Right.
And then the second thing that messes with that is your money, because now comes in play engagement. I know how to get some engagement on my social. Believe me, I do. But that's not who I am all the time. I'm not trying to just smile and just be grainy-faced all the time. I want to be myself and be honest and talk about what I like to talk about, my beliefs, right? And that gets no engagement. And then what happens when you get no engagement? Your money goes down. Mm-hmm. And so it's like it's a escape.
Yeah.
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 That was a real answer.
Thank you. What do you feel about that?
I said that was a real answer. You said thank you.
Well, because you pointed at me as if I did something good.
What did I think about that?
You're like, I got nice shoes. You point at me, I'm like, yes, I do. You know, it's like confusing.
Fair.
This is great. Yeah. So, and then what happened after the show was over? I mean, like what was? How'd you get momentum back and stuff?
I don't think I never lost momentum.
Yeah.
After the show was over, I moved to Mexico, learned Spanish. Then moved to Colombia after that. I wanted to learn Spanish. I wanted to always do that. I created a TV show, a 4-part episode, spent like a little over 6 figures on that. Won 3 awards. I'm a award-winning producer, TV show producer, and wrote a book, became a bestseller. Got into a beautiful relationship, a loving relationship. Every time I post her, I lose followers. Crazy. Every single time, 1,000 at least.
Better stop.
I know, right? And yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Just got to travel some more, have a lot of fun, meet a lot of people, celebs and everybody alike, and got to hug a beautiful amount of people.
Let's talk about the winning momentum for a second, because you're in the military. I mean, there's not really much you can. Very few people thrive in the military in a way that's super significant. Okay, in the public eye, rather, right? And then you get out. You're in San Antonio for a while. You're doing some jobs here and there, and all of a sudden, it seems this way to me that you get in the Bachelorette show, and all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang. Bang, all these fun things start to happen. All these doors open up. Did it all start with the show, or was there a little bit more of that before the show?
No, so like I wrote this down the other day, actually. Maybe like the other day, as in like 2 years ago. It happened way before. I've always been a winner.
Yeah.
Period. In pretty much everything, except for entrepreneurship. I haven't won at that yet. And I think the reason is because if you give me a playbook, I'm going to win. But in entrepreneurship, there is no playbook. And so I'm having to learn how to work through that. But I've always been a winner in the military. Airman of the Quarter, Airman of the Year. All the awards you can win. Financial advisor. I was Rookie of the Year. Getting hit up by the $250 billion company CEO. I've always been a winner in everything. Go on TV. America's Sweetheart was pretty cool in that regard. I've always been a winner. But when it comes to TV, honestly, there was no playbook. It would just be yourself. Yeah. So I don't know how to answer that.
You've always had the winning momentum.
I wouldn't say it's momentum. I would say just work through conflict and figure that shit out. I think the universe is always in our favor.
Amen. So where are you ultimately going with this path that you're on? What is the big picture here, Mike?
I've lost 4 people to suicide, and my commander told me, look, if you come to me with a problem, where's the solution at? I don't care if it's the wrong solution, just what's your solution? And so for me, I kind of got pissed off, bro. I got pissed off that people were taking their lives left and right, and we're not talking about what matters most. I've looked at the CDC and the World Health Organization, how they define sexual health and how they define mental health, and there's a disparity I see in that. And when we talk about cortisol flooding our body and how that could manifest in the different ways that it does, cortisol, for the record, I know this is good in a lot of regards. Like our sympathetic nervous system is good in a lot of regards. The parasympathetic nervous system is good in a lot of regards. And so for me, I'm just trying to build a bridge so that we can all live a life free from suffering.
Mm-hmm. What does that look like to build the bridge? I mean, how specific can we get on that vision right now?
I think that I need to do all the 6 ways of persuasion to get awareness, and then to get intention, and then to get people to act. And so I need to do all the 6 things of persuasion, because we can say what we want to say about any leader that we've ever hated, but if they didn't have awareness, they wouldn't have ever been able to do what they wanted to do in the first place.
Step 1's awareness, yeah?
Yes.
What are you doing today to get more awareness?
I'm here with 3 of y'all.
That's true.
Yeah.
What else?
What else? Today I was filming content earlier.
Yep.
Today my newsletter went out. The people can sign up, ask questions. 2 days ago I had my men's group. This weekend I'm going to see my mentee in San Antonio. I'm a mentor for Big Brothers Big Sisters of America. Nice. And so those 4 things right there, I could say. I did tell you I created a TV show. The TV show was all about women and their mental health as mothers. So I've done those different things, but now it's like, in order to continue to do those things, I got to be real with myself. I need more cash flow for me individually, for the lifestyle that I choose to live.
Yeah.
And so, looking at show me what you got in terms of the real estate, right? In commercial real estate, or, looking at acquiring a business or 2, while I still work on my individual efforts, because I seem to not win just yet. But at the same time, Alex Ramosi says you can't lose if you don't try, if you don't stop.
He's the man. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this up because I know you got to get going soon here. I always have these a few set of questions before we hop off here.
I have one question already first before you end, because I think it's really important, and I'm curious myself. Me being if I had to die, I'd put on my tombstone like one word, like what I was, and or maybe it'd be like a label, of like an identity. I might choose philosopher. I think that's because there's such an infinite, amount of things that covers. But so I mentioned that because the word itself, suffering, like my mind is goes so deep to be like, what does that actually mean? What's the definition? In so many different ways. But I really want to ask you in regard to suffering, and you said stopping or ending human suffering, right? That's the direction, that's the goal that you're wanting to go. Is that right? What does that mean to you within your individual experience?
To live life, to be alive, pain happens. Misery happens. It's impossible to live it without misery, to live it without pain. Suffering is optional. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. And I say it and it's rude and I don't care. And the reason I say I don't care is because you choose at a certain point to suffer. We could talk about emotions and thoughts. Emotion is a period that lasts for 90 seconds. Past that, it's a feeling that you have, which is your thought that you've created around how you've painted it to be. And so helping people to change the way they feel about an emotion that they had, and realizing that it was a moment in time, and now past 90 seconds in terms of neurology, past that 90-second period, how are you framing it? And so helping people to frame things, helping people to have tools like forms of meditation, right? Like, for example, a cat. They have healing frequency from 25 megahertz to 100 megahertz, right? And so when they purr, they're healing themselves in that regard, right? Another cool fact maybe y'all haven't heard.
I just lick myself like a cat.
I so can go into jokes with that. So can go into jokes with it. You're talking to a sexologist about licking yourself. Movement, right? We talk about, for people that, have an incredibly difficult time sitting still and being bored, movement. And so dancing, right? And then I go into pleasures, the 4 type of pleasures, then I can go into connection, right? And so having those 4 things in your life, you're going to live a joyful life. Overall joyful. I say joyful over happiness because happiness is fleeting. Mm-hmm. Happiness comes and goes. And joy is an overarching aim that we're shooting for. That's how I would answer it. A great question, though.
Mike, what would you tell yourself if you had a conversation with you as a kid?
So 30 years ago, I was 6 years old. I would tell that little big-eared boy.
Why'd you choose the 6-year-old out of
Because I'm just 36. It's like easy math.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Just easy math.
No real reason. Okay.
It was just easy math, to be honest. There was no real reason. I was like, 36. Subtract 36. I've never thought about this question. I would say to be good, I would say be like water, Bruce Lee. Period.
Okay. Now, if I was 6 years old and you told me to be like water, I'd go hop in a pool.
Okay, fair. Okay, I'll elaborate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, if you don't ask, I'm not going to say. I'll elaborate. That's what I'll tell myself today, be like water. I'll tell myself then to just always be a kid that handles their responsibilities. So if mommy says do this, make sure you do that, but then always go have fun still. Yeah, just be a kid always from 6 to 36 and 72 and beyond, and be responsible. Take responsibility. I could tell a 6-year-old to take responsibility and be fun at the same time.
True. Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah. And last question for you. Who's somebody that you want to have an hour-long conversation with that's still alive today that you'd just love to, ping ideas off of and share stories?
What's my buddy name? He owns Virgin Mobile.
Richard Branson.
Period.
Yeah.
100%.
How come?
He's awesome. He dropped, he in England, they have A-levels and stuff. He got out of school at 16 years old, dyslexic, started multiple billion-dollar companies. But the cool thing about it, he's still married to his wife. Mm. He, goes after world records and, doesn't care about death. And so he, lives this really cool life about his business, even though his ass don't know business if you read about him. And he has a thirst for life while still being with the same lady, and he's a badass, bro. He is a badass.
He's having a good time.
Yeah, he's having a great time. Dude was in a hot air balloon, and I don't know if y'all know the story about the hot air balloon. It went off course or whatever.
Really?
He just has such a cool life, kind of like Harrison Ford or something.
Living it up.
Yeah.
Carefree kind of guy.
Breathe life.
Highly successful.
Yeah,
and I'm going to have to apologize in advance for making a mistake. I actually have one more question, so thank you for your forgiveness. Let's say in 100 years from now, your family, your great-grandkids are watching this, listening to this. What kind of message do you want to share with them?
I've never been asked that question. I've been on probably 1,000 podcasts, so thank you for that.
Yes. 1,000, god dang.
Probably more. Wow. I would say... I ain't gonna say it.
You could say it.
I was gonna say be like water. You gonna?
Oh yeah, I'll splash you with water.
I would say. Genuinely, I'll tell you what I'm working on now. What I'm working on now, and watch how it manifests to other things in the world. Look like a lover, stand tall like a gorilla, speak like a nirvanic preacher.
Look like a lover, stand tall like a preacher.
Look like a lover.
Yes.
So that means
look like a lover.
That means groom yourself, carry yourself well.
Yeah.
Stand tall like a gorilla, be in shape.
Yep.
Be wise, and then speak like a nirvanic Buddha or a preacher, which means just speak when you open your mouth and then you impute positivity.
It's freaking good, man. Really good. Mike, I know it's time. It's time we're going to get you out of here. How do people get a hold of you?
I would love, if y'all signed up for FeelingSeen.com, our newsletter, FeelingSeen.com.
FeelingSeen.com.
Yeah, or you can go to bbbs.org and become a mentor of Big Brothers Big Sisters.
That's fired up. What's the name of the men's group?
FeelingSeen.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, just FeelingSeen.
Cool.
Yeah.
Folks, you're here to hear first. Y'all, do your sign-off thing, that thing that you guys do when you say bye.
What do we do?
Yeah, what's that thing y'all do when you say peace to everybody? What is it? You're in Canada, so you're like, hey.
Hey, bye.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, perfect. And what do you typically do when you say bye to people?
It depends on who it is. If it's you two, one of my best friends, we're part of it. You guys out, stand probably you want to win.
There you go.
So hugs from Brendan.
We're hugging.
Folks, until next time, stay fired up. Cheers.
Fired
love.
up.